Hey, I'm Helado Negro, and you're watching What's in My Bag at my house.
There must be a song like you.
So for this first record, I want to share, it's a record by, let me get the name right, Pierre Mariétan, and it's a record called Rose de Vents. And it's on the fabulous label Mana that I love so much. I believe this was maybe their first release. This is just wonder, this record. It kind of traverses like collage, music concrete, just all these like field recordings, but that morph into these other more orchestral arrangements and minimal just beauty. It's almost as if you're like picking up on things being transmitted through telephone lines as you're walking down the street, listening to what's going on in the city, or if you're in the woods, like just listening to what's happening outside. It's kind of this beautiful accomplishment. This record is amazing. I highly recommend it. The next record is a big one for me that I love a lot. It's an album by Maria Marquez and Frank Harris called Echoes. Then it's a re-release. So was the other one. And Maria Marquez, she's a Venezuelan artist, musician, who has a lot of records out, but this one was really special. It really, there's just something that happened with their collaboration that just you can tell was magic, and the way they found each other through these sounds and the arrangements and instruments, and I highly recommend this. I've listened to this a million times, and maybe not a million, but a lot, and it's really good. The next record is a record by Silvia Tarozzi, Specchio e Rifletto.
La mia stagione, il più bel riscatto della vita.
And it's an Italian artist, I believe she's Italian, and it's on the amazing Unseen Worlds. It's another really wonderful label putting out all types of goodness. And this album is just, it's like almost like a evolution of the first record I was showing you, where there's some singing on here, and there's some more ideas that feel like songs, but then also mutate into some beautiful arrangement type work and instrumental stuff. This record is amazing. It's beautiful. I might overuse the word amazing, so sorry. Fabulous is a good word. This record by Mariana, how do I say Mariana Ingold. And it's called Cara, and she is this really phenomenal musician, songwriter, composer who is from Uruguay and makes just wonderful music, that's been making wonderful music for a long time. And I guess something to point out, she was a part of like a very specific scene in Uruguay and worked with like Eduardo Mateo and like that specific scene. So this is really crucial listening, I think. Listen. Alright. Next record is a record by the group Spaza. And it's on the label Mushroom Hour Half Hour. This is a group from Johannesburg, and this is such a for me, this is where I want music. I mean, not where I think music should be anything, but for some reason I think there's such a refreshing quality to what they're doing with this music. It feels improvised, but it also feels so natural. It doesn't feel it feels like this beautiful orchestrated fireworks show that just kind of like these things are happening and you know that something could go wrong at any moment, but it doesn't. It just keeps going in all the directions that you would hope it to go, and a lot of surprising places. So I highly recommend this Spaza. What a good one. Another freaky, pretty amazing record that I came across was this record called by Tadi featuring DJKR, and it's called 7 Diamond Lines. It's one song, and there's this interpreted song from a field recording or a recording that was made in Taipei of this chanting, and the chanting was done by it says their names here. I'm gonna butcher their names if I say this out loud right now, but you could read it online. So there's one side that is using these wonderful this chant recording, this field recording, and then on the B side is the original chanting. But this just mesmerized me. It really bowled me over. I didn't expect to feel so good listening to this. I mean, I didn't even know what I was listening to until it hit me. I highly recommend this. Here's another recommendation. This is Josiah Steinbrick, and the record is called Liquid, Devotion, and Tongue Street Blue. Josiah has a really unique way of creating these landscapes through sound, but it may feel like known terrains, but there's like such a quality in terms of like how much character he's able to put into a lot of things that may seem familiar and uniquely his own. And he's got a lot of newer works out right now, but this record is a really good entry point to a lot of his work, I think. So I highly recommend it. And then last but not least is a release by Jocy de Oliveira.
Assalto no Morumbi. Assalto no Morumbi.
And Jocy is a very special musician, composer, sonic wizard from Brazil, and she was mostly dealing with like electroacoustic, more avant-garde work, more like experimental opera type work, and she made this pop record, if you could call it that. And I mean, there's songs and it feels not like anything else, and I think her point to this album or to this record was to flip a lot of like known forms from Brazil, like samba and bossa nova, and make it uniquely her own with these like bizarre plot lines and also interruptions in some of the arrangements and songs where you think things are about to go, and kind of like using field recordings to kind of just disrupt the feeling that you're expected to feel, like if you're hearing like a bossa nova or something, these like aesthetics that we're aware really comfortable and kind of like already know. And she really took this form and played with it a lot. So there's a lot of like humor in terms of like the way she approached this, but also I think she still approached it with like a lot of the seriousness that I'm sure she would work out in her other work. But this is a really, really good one, and I love it. And that is what's in my bag. Thank you so much. I'm Helado Negro, and thank you for having me, and until next time.
Viva!